Plaintiff Christina Johnson met the defendant on an online dating site, and she thought he was the one. However, Christina claims after they moved in together, the defendant became emotionally and physically abusive, and she ended up having him escorted off the property by the police, then filed a restraining order against him. Christina's suing her ex for loans and property damages. Defendant Griffin Hirchko denies that he was physically abusive and claims the only bruises on Christina's body were caused during sex. Griffin claims Christina is extremely vindictive, and she called the police on him multiple times, and he's countersuing for personal property.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
I met Griffin 2 years ago. We met on a dating site, and he was charismatic and intelligent, and we hit it off really well. I was looking for a Christian man, and he stated that he was a Christian and all this, so I thought that he was the one, so I moved him in.
Moved him in?
Yeah, with me and my family after 2 months.
But y'all didn't have sexual relations?
Of course.
Why are you looking at me like that?
It was the best part, Your Honor.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay, but the way you said, of course, like that's a normal part of what you might do. The Bible says no sex before marriage, Christian. And don't look at me like I'm crazy. Go ahead. So you all were sinning.
Correct.
By living together. Go ahead.
I agree.
And
I agree.
having
It was
sex.
fun. So we were getting along well.
We sinned well, Your Honor.
You sin well. Well, is that your opinion?
Yeah.
You'd have to bring me some evidence, testimonial evidence. Some testimonial evidence from some of the ladies to back that up. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyways, when I met him, he had a British accent, so that was hot, I thought. And then later, I found out he was from Ohio. So about a year ago, me and my family left, and he was supposed to watch the apartment. When I came back, there was people in the apartment that I didn't know. They were in my bed. So I was very upset. I asked him to get everybody out. During that time period, we got in a confrontation. He pushed me down, and the cops were called. I had a bruise, so they wanted me to press felony charges. I didn't.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Against that.
Let her finish.
And then we tried to mend things, and a couple more times, occasions, physical violence occurred, and emotional abuse. He has a big ego, and he's very smart, and he always thinks that he's the smartest guy in the room. So basically on September 11th, the confrontation got more than I was willing to put up with after being emotionally abused physically at times, being called names like Nero, Hitler, Stalin, stuff like that. I just had enough and called the cops. They escorted him off the property, and then I put a restraining order.
All right, you have that restraining order?
Yes, I do.
Sir, let me get some background from you.
Well, what she said was true. We met online. Things were good at first, but unfortunately, she showed her true colors.
How so?
She's a very vindictive woman. So she's the kind of woman that'll kill a mosquito with a nuclear weapon.
Give me some other examples, because I don't think she has that.
Well, for instance, the first major occurrence was she wanted to, with her son, celebrate a tradition, which with my religion, the way I viewed it, it was not acceptable.
You're not Christian? She said you were a good
I am Christian,
like her.
but there are different flavors of Christianity.
Okay.
But with Halloween, ironically, she wanted to go out with her son.
That's for the devil. You didn't know that? Go ahead.
I did not believe in that tradition, nor did I want to show her son, that was
and what
acceptable. Sadly, I went because I did not want to lose my home. But,
all right, but that's not her being unreasonable or some type of monster that you describe.
She's called the cops on me repeatedly times,
She
and
says
she's lied to the authorities.
Physical abuse.
The only bruises on her body were left from sex, sir.
So you keep bragging and doing all this, and yet the woman left you. He thinks a lot of himself and
Yes.
as a lover. Okay, is it all that?
It's good, but it's not all that.
Oh, okay. So you get what would you put it at? 8? 7? I'm just asking, sir. You counting all good, I just want to get a second opinion. Go ahead. What else you want me to know? You want to give me another example? That's what we were waiting on.
At the end, she's been in court for learning law. So she used her law and her knowledge of law in the most vindictive of ways, but she was legally able to remove me from the premise of the house, and in the process, took all of my belongings.
Okay, that's your counterclaim. She'll get to hers first, and then we'll listen to your counter. How many police reports do you have today? Just the one?
I do have another.
Okay. What happened with these cases? Was he prosecuted?
No.
Why?
Because I just want my money and I just want to be done, you know.
And this is a real issue because he's saying you illegally evicted him and withheld his property. And that's why it's very relevant to prove that he did something wrong to cause you to do that. I see restraining order as well on you, sir. And he smashed the door twice or damaged the door on 2 different occasions?
2 different doors, yes.
Oh, okay.
The door frame was broken into and it was pried open with a bar.
It's also an allegation, Your Honor.
You have any proof that it was damaged? Pictures?
Pictures, yes. I have
Okay,
pictures.
let's see them. All right, sir. Unless she did this damage herself, I'm looking at damage that was done to the door. And I don't believe she damaged her own door to create a case against you. Now, tell me about the loans you're suing for.
The loans, I loaned him money at 3 different occasions. On November 2016, around that time, I loaned him $1,000. He had bounced a check in his bank account, some money, he was supposed to get some money from his relatives. That didn't come through on right, so I
When was he to repay it?
There wasn't a set date.
Okay. And the next loan?
The next loan was in May 2017. I loaned him $1,200 to repay a gambling debt that he owed.
Okay, next.
Then in August 2017, I loaned him $800 to help him pay off his car and things like that.
Okay, and how much has he paid toward any of this? Nothing?
Nothing.
When is the last time you discussed it with him?
The last time was September 7th.
He said he denies, he agrees that he owes.
She brought it up a lot September 11th. That was the night that I left the house.
Brought what up a lot?
Money that she said that I
got it. All right, and what do you say to this, sir? These loans and property damage?
We never discussed it as being a loan. It was just money that was given, and I never signed any type of promissory note.
You have any proof that it was a loan? He sounds like he acknowledged receiving the money.
I have several text messages.
Let's see them.
Starting with the most recent, going backward to the...
Sir, what do you say to the text messages? You recall sending any text messages acknowledging it was a loan or that you would repay her?
I don't recall.
Okay, all right. Ma'am, I don't know where you get that notion that he thinks he's smarter than anybody. He's not smart at all today. He's not smart at all. I'm looking right at the text messages. 11 case against is probably going to pay my debt in full. Want a steak before I sign the majority of the check over to you. You don't remember any of those, sir?
I don't recall.
Okay. All right, so $4,300 is your judgment. I believe they were loans. You described and you showed me the property damage. Your claim is dismissed because I don't believe you remember anything. So why would I grant you something if you don't remember? I can never take your word. Judgment for the plaintiff, $4,300.
he wasn't as smart as he thought he was.
Try to be a better Christian.